Hello everyone, this is Ryan, your YouTube piano teacher. Today I want to do the first part of a tutorial covering the song Remedy by Adele. I say the first part because I'm sure my daughter will wake up ere I have time to finish, so I'll have to come back later. Such is life. My student Alana is learning this song, and it was new to me. I know, right? Gasp. Yes, it was new to me. I don't know every song in the world, but I learned it very easily, and I want to show you guys the strategies I used to learn this song, so you can use those same strategies to help you learn the song faster as well. Alright, I have Miss Adele here pulled up. We use a combination of her voice and my voice. Hopefully my voice is not too off-putting. Here we go. Cool, so that's the opening. I pulled up a chord chart using Google, and I see that the chords are E minor, and D major, and A major. Right off the bat, my brain tells me a couple of things. Because I have a D major chord, D, F sharp, A, and an A major chord, A, C sharp, E, I have two black keys, F sharp and C sharp. I have a D major chord with D, F sharp, A, an E minor chord with E, G, B, and an A major chord with A and C sharp. Put them all together, and I have a D major scale. So I would want my student, Alana, to know the D major scale. That's two sharps. Knowing the scale will help me to play all the chords very easily, whether it be the E minor, the D major, the A major, even later on in the song the G major, or the B minor. And I believe those are all the chords that we must play. It looks like it. Haha! Cool. Now, she wants to play the melody as well as the chords. And that'll be slightly differently than if you just want to do I remember the thing that I Okay, so I'll show you how to play both ways, the chords or the melody. Okay, I listened to the intro a couple of times. Until I can sing the melody. Bum 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 bum. Da na 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 na. Okay, then I figure out and the way I figure out that it starts on G is I play the E minor chord. Because most of the time, not in this song, which I'll just come to show you in a second, but much of the time, the melody note will be one of the chord tones. So I play E minor, bum, 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 and I sing the chord tones, bum, 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 of E minor, and indeed, the G, where we start, is one of the chord tones. Cool! Bum, ba. To figure out where the second sound happens, like which key it happens on, I will just sing the second note and then play until I play the correct key. Bum, ba. Nope. Bum, ba. Nope. Bum, ba. Nope. Bum, ba. There it is. Cool. I didn't have to check either of these black keys because remember, they're not part of the scale. So that's why knowing which white and black keys belong in the scale is really helpful. Okay, bum, ba. What comes next? Bum, 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 bum. Just back and forth. If you like music theory, and I do, this is an E minor chord, or triad, and she also plays a D, which turns it into an E minor 7. Bum, 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 bum. then bum, play a D major chord. Bum, 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 bum. That's one of the chord tones, F sharp. So bum, 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 bum. Nice. Next, I play A major. Bum, 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 bum. And the C sharp is one of those chord tones. So I figured out which keys to play merely by playing the chords and singing the chord tones and listening if any of them match. Okay. There it is. Ba, ba, ba. 3-point mice, see how they run. Okay, getting distracted. Slow motion. I do an octave because I can reach it, and very often, if you play a fifth, boom, 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 higher than the bottom note, it sounds good. So I'm going to do that also. It's good to use your longer fingers to play the black keys. If I use my thumb, it kind of scrunches my hand up. So I only do that for playing solid chords. Okay? I know it's the B, because I sang the chord tones in my mind, and then I realized there was not one of those. So then I sing the next note up from the chord root, which is the name of the chord, A major A. Bum! And there it is. Yay! One more time. Okay. Doesn't play A. You'll notice throughout the rest of this song that Adele very often will sing or will emphasize a pitch, a sound that's just one letter away from the chord tones, and by doing that, it's really expressive. I very much admire whoever wrote this song. I don't know if it was Adele or somebody else, but they're a good songwriter. Now comes the best part, my singing.
I remember all of the things that I thought I wanted to be.
Okay, just listen to that first line over and over until you can sing. I remember. She kind of falls away there, so it's not an exact pitch. I remember. Okay, you can play whatever you want on the piano. I just stay on the D because it sounds good for the E minor chord or for the D chord. I can't really play I remember. That doesn't sound very good on piano. So, I remember. You could play, really, any of the chord tones for D major, D, F sharp, or A, D, F sharp, or A. I just choose to stay on the D because it's simple. And then, A major chord. All of the things that I thought I wanted to be. How did I learn that? Again, I sing the chord tones. I remember, bum 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 bum, all of the things that I thought. Bum bum, twinkle twinkle little star, perfect fifth. Thought I wanted to be. Pause right there. When the sound leaps, and that isn't the very next letter, the way I learn it is I sing. I sing the whole interval, the whole distance, and then I step my way there. Boom, boom. to sing 5 sounds. Boom, 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 boom. So it's a fifth. Thought I wanted to. It was a fifth. Boo, doo, 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 doo. And that's how I memorized what perfect fifths sound like. I just sing the steps there. Review. I remember all of the things that I thought I wanted to be. You can do a couple little B's and C sharps, as many as you feel like. The way to play it is, aside from knowing the scale, you should learn the triad inversions. Triad, 3 keys. Generally we play with 5 and 3 and 1. When they invert, it means the key on the left goes over to become on the right. So an E minor is still E and G and B, but it's changed its shape. And for the right hand, it fits really well to do fingers 1 and 2 and 5. If you flip it or invert it again, the G comes over to the right, and it becomes B and E and G. And the fingering changes to 1 and 3 and 5. And then here's root position or regular. In the left hand, however, when you invert, we do opposite fingering. If you do first inversion and E comes from there to here, I do finger 3. The right hand, I did finger 2 on B, but the left hand finger 3, because obviously the hands are mirrored. If the left hand does second inversion, and B, E, G is the order, I do finger 5, 2, 1, whereas for the right hand, second inversion is 1, 3, 5. Okay, you need to know how to play them blocked all together, or broken taking turns. Not fast, necessarily, but you need to at least know them. Now D major has the same finger numbers. First inversion, F sharp A D, 1, 2, 5. First inversion, F sharp A D, 5, 3, 1. Second inversion, A, D, F sharp, 5, 2, 1. Right hand second inversion, 1, 3, 5. For A major, first inversion, C sharp E, A, 5, 3, 1. For right hand, first inversion, C sharp E, A, 1, 2, 5. And second inversion for left hand, E, A, C sharp, E, A, C. Finding Nemo reference, 5, 2, 1. For the right hand, second inversion, 1, 3, 5. Why is this important? Because to play a song like the pros do, you should not always play root position, because the keys aren't always close to each other. Here, everything's moving far away. But if I play first inversion, actually I'll start root position. I do this, and then I move 1 key to the left for D major. From D major to A major, I can keep the A where it is, because it's what we call the common tone. It's in D major and A major. Check this out. D major, root position. A major, first inversion. And one of the keys can stay the same. Here we go. If I did first inversion E minor, I could go 1 key to the left for first inversion D major, and then I could keep the A right there and move the others to second inversion of A major. And so that way, 1 is staying the same, and 2 are moving just by a step rather than this. That sounds disjointed. If I did second inversion for E minor, I could slide to second inversion, D major, keep the A where it is, and then move the other 2. Okay, we call it voice leading in classical music. I don't know what they call it in pop music or jazz music, sorry. But in classical music, voice leading. Keep a key the same when you change chords, if you can. You could also use different inversions at your pleasure. Okay, so maybe I'll do this. Well, that was an inversion. Another inversion, and then a root. Maybe I'll do this. So any order is fine. I'm just saying it'll sound a little smoother and a little bit more professional if you use chord inversions instead of only root position jumping. All right. Oh, would you look at that? There's a first inversion D major chord. Ah, a second version A major chord. Adele is thinking the same as I am. I remember, first inversion, all of the things, second inversion. Also, by playing the chord inversions, you can more easily play the melody in your right hand. I remember. If you choose to do that, like I think Alana wants to, play the melody, mostly with 3 and 4 and 5, and try to play one other note from the chord with finger 1 or 2. Check it out. This is part of E minor chord, and this is the melody. I remember. F sharp is part of the D major chord, and the melody is there, kind of. Remember all. Now here's the melody, C sharp. I could play an A with it, or an E with it. Or if I'm feeling froggy, I could play both. And I like the sound of both. Now here I do something strange. I do 4 on the D instead of the regular 5 because I know the melody note goes to E. And 4, 5 sounds better than, we call it legato or smooth. So I'll open my hand a little more. 1, 2, 4, 5. So desperate to find a way out of my world and to find, there's 4 again, finally breathe. If you have smaller hands, you don't have to play F sharp and A and D. You could just play or you could do the 5-5. You just have to move your hand, and it sounds a little bit more boom, boom, instead of smooth, right? So a little bit more like chewing chocolate chips, instead of like, what's really smooth? Like a meringue or like a puree. So you have to decide, do you want crunchy chocolate chips or smooth puree? Let's check back with Adele and find out what comes next. Oh yeah, right after I Want It to Be, there's a little, and I would play that with a crescendo, where you get louder. No, 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 no. It's called pickup notes. When you have a couple of notes at the end of a measure that sort of propel us into the next measure, we call them pickup notes. There can be 1 pickup note or 2 or 3. I don't know the maximum number. But these, it really sounds like they're propelling us. So we call them pickup notes, and they very often crescendo, whether you're playing Mozart or Adele.
Find a way out of my world and finally breathe.
Right before. So I play the chord. Right. Okay, so it's on D. Right before. This is so cool. I love it. We call it a 9th chord. E to G is 3 letters. To B is 5 letters. To D is 7 letters. And to F or F sharp is 9 letters. On a chord chart, this would be an E minor 7. Add we call the ninth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right before my eyes I saw. So here, on saw, she sings the chord tones. Right before I play melody over here, 3, 4, 5. And then I play as many of the E minor, EGBs, or if I feel fancy, a D, as I want to play. I can reach all of them, so I play all of them. Right before, or, if you choose to only play the D, then just move your hand over and play 1, 2, 3. Because why would you use 3, 4, and 5 when you could use 1, 2, and 3, right? Now this is quite the chord. We have an octave, 8 letters apart, and I have a D major chord, first inversion. Maybe your hand can't do this. That's fine. You can take away, whenever you have an octave, well, not whenever. Sometimes when you have an octave, you can not play one of the duplicate notes, and it sounds fine. Okay. So for the D major, it's still doing in the melody. The chord, I'll just play a D or an A if I can. Now for saw, left hand I play an octave, because I can reach it, and a fifth higher. If I can't reach the octave, I'll just do a fifth, here, or here. Depends how bassy you want it to sound. You can choose. Let's listen to what she does. No, come back. Yeah, so she's kind of over here. So, my heart, it came to life. Oh, that's the same pattern as from the first couple of lines.
My heart, it came to life.
Heart, it came to life.
This ain't easy.
F sharp. This ain't easy. It's not meant to. Here's one of those places. A major chord, but she sings a D. This would be smoother, but this is very expressive. This ain't easy. I'll just do a fifth here, or an octave, and I'll do the melody, plus some of the chord tones. Again, instead of playing one of the chord tones, G, B, D, she plays E, sings E. Every storm had its scars. It's very expressive. I keep saying that because it's true. Listen to Chopin, listen to opera, listen to Adele. And I think I'll stop there for this first part. So again, let's recap. I sing the melody until I have it memorized. Then I learn the scale, the D major scale. Then I learn the triad, inversion, fingerings, because it helps me to play the melody. Yeah? Then I learn how to play the melody by playing the chord tones. Bum, bum, bum. If the melody is not one of them, then I just play the chord root and start moving away from it until I find the note I want to sing. Or I could just play the regular scale until I find the note I want to sing. Okay? The melody often plays with 3, 4, and 5, and when possible, I'll use 1 and 2 to play some chord tones underneath it. The left hand can play a fifth, or just the root, which means if you're in a D chord, play a D, A chord, play A, or you can play an octave of the root, or you can play an octave and a fifth. Doom, 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 doom. Okay? I think that's what we've covered. I hope this is helpful to you, Alana, and to the rest of you out on YouTube. If you like this video, you can subscribe for when I put out part 2. Click the like button. And if you have any suggestions for future video topics, feel free to add them to the comments below. This has been Ryan Blakemore, your YouTube piano teacher. Have a good day.